March 2nd. The dream I had was in a house, like a mansion house. And there were all these rooms. And some people I knew and some people I didn't. Rooms with families, but each room was huge and each room had multiple beds and families were sharing their beds. Like there was families grouped together. Depending on the number of people in each family, they were on each bed. And then there was the kitchen, huge kitchen. And there were friends also, strangers, in this huge mansion. And there was this feeling of interacting with them, some of them, because some were family. And there was a feeling with some other people who I didn't know, where it was more of just like they were just strangers, they were doing their thing. And so with some people I was interacting with, and then with others I was just watching. And then there were other scenes that I would see, like stores, a group of stores with different shops. So similar concept of just this house, mansion, and then this shopping center, a small shopping center with like different rooms, shops. And then an outside, like a trailer home, various trailer homes, and people living in their trailers, right? So there's a wide variety of people, of even ethnicities and Spanish speaking, English speaking, wealthy, and then those who weren't, like just a wide variety of people that I was seeing. And like I mentioned before, some scenes I'm there and there's slight interaction where I'm interacting with others, and then there's other scenes where I'm just watching. And then there's scenes where I'm hovering over. So I'm not really a part of it, but I'm just watching. And when it gets to that point, there's this element of like, I'm just watching things unfold. Because there was even a murder scene in the kitchen. And it was friends, like one of the friends, it was the actress from that one, Big Little Lies or something. What's her name? The one who was in the abusive relationship. She's recording her friend. And the one, and she wanting, because you know how like they lied, they conspired or whatever, and they all lied. And so in this scene, in the kitchen scene, the one who was in the domestic violence situation, she had killed someone, another woman. And then she was telling her friend who she was recording to tell a lie. And then the friend said, no, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie anymore. And so, but she kind of loses it and kills her friend. And then she panics because there's like more than one death. in the kitchen, and so she turns on the gas to try to burn the house. And I remember thinking, and I'm hovering over and I'm seeing this, and I'm like, there's kids in the house, there's other families in the house. But fortunately, the owners of the house, which are some wealthy people, they get there in time. And then she panics because she's like, oh my gosh, they're gonna see. So then, like, she's trying to find a way out, but they come in and there's this feeling of like the house doesn't burn down, or because they arrived, something like that. But I just remember thinking, like, there's kids in the other house, like they're like sharing the space. But throughout the whole thing, I'm not panicked. I'm not like, there's no emotional aside from the slight worry of the kids and the other families. There was still this, I'm not getting involved. This feeling of like, I'm allowing things to unfold. All these storylines, I'm allowing things to unfold. Just allowing, just allowing. That was the feeling, that I'm just allowing. Like there was just this knowing that I just needed to allow. No matter what happened, I needed to allow. And there was more of this not wondering, but just watching to see what people would do, watching to see how people would respond to one another, to situations. I mean, in some of the other family ones, there were scenes of people who had been well off, like working, and then were doing more labor work. One of my ex's cousins was there, and she was a teacher, but she had a lot of kids, and now she's doing more housework. She's not working anymore. She has a lot of kids. And there's my aunts in another room. We're just chatting up a storm, right? Then there's aunts from my dad's side, and then from my mom's side there's all these other family members, and there's like divorces and separation, like there's just different storylines everywhere, different types. And I'm just watching. That was the feeling. I'm like, I'm just watching all of this unfold. I'm just watching. Not really interfering or saving, or just allowing. That was the general feeling of just allowing things to unfold. The one scene that stands out the most for me, that I was sitting with, was a bedroom scene, because I was in it. And there was an Asian man on this bed. I think he had a son. His son was in a smaller bed next to him. And I was laying there with him, kind of just laying, and he was sitting up on the bed, and I was just listening to him. So there was an acknowledgement that I was there, and he was talking to me, and I was asking questions. And I was listening to his answers, and he was teaching me about his culture and about his family and what he believed. And I was just fascinated with just listening to him talk. And there was this feeling of like we were getting to know each other purposefully. Like there was I don't know, it was a potential for something more. There's a potential for something, and I'm just listening, and I'm smiling, and I'm just learning about it, really letting him talk. And there was no distress. That's what stood out the most, I think, for me, was that there was no distress. There was no discomfort. There was no this feeling of like I'm half there and not. Like there was nothing of that. Like I was all there and listening. And I'd ask some follow-up questions, but I was just listening to it. And it felt good. Like it felt nice. It felt nice just to listen to him talk. Even though there was this knowing that we were getting to know each other, to kind of be more. Like I think that's what tripped me out, was that there was no distress on my part of doing that. There was no distress. And I was like, okay. Even waking up and thinking about it, there's no distress. There was no distress. Like I was okay with it. And that's what stood out. You would think the murder scene would stand out, right? But it didn't. It was yeah, there was no emotional like oh my gosh, but no, aside from the only part, like in terms of what she was doing with her friends, the moment she was gonna turn on the gas to try to burn the house down. That was the only moment where I was just like, there's other family. Like, and it wasn't even like a, oh my gosh, it was more like, there's other families in the home. Like there's gonna be this wider ripple effect of her choice feeling. But then when the owners of the home came, there was this knowing that they would not allow that to happen. What a weird dream, right? What a weird dream. That was all. I just want to record that dream because that one was a little, like, I guess it's symbolic or just, I don't know. I think it was more symbolic than anything. In terms of just, you know what it felt like the interconnectedness of everybody. But despite everybody doing their own thing and not really engaging with one another, but just the fact that they were sharing space, they were interconnected, and just the different storylines and the different storylines. And so there's just that feeling of interconnectedness despite the different storylines, despite and the ripple effect. There's like the feeling of the ripple effect with each person's actions, despite the type of action. There was, like, we each, right, like, give off a vibration, and we all impact one another without even having to physically interact with one another. We're constantly impacting one another, influencing one another. Decisions that are made, it's a ripple effect, right? And it's felt at all levels. At all levels. Okay. I didn't get ready.
Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience, and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.